Steve Guino here, and I'm going to show you some of my record collection. This is just a tiny bit of it, but I thought I'd show some of the records that I grew up with and I collected when I was a teenager. And we're going to start with this one here. This is Cat Stevens, Buddha in a Chocolate Box. This has some great music on it, a lot of great songs. Opens up, it actually opens, there's a big opening here, as you can see. And really cool artwork, some really good music, and some nice designs on the back. You can see the designs. Artwork. Cat Stevens. That's the first one. This is going to be a small, very small section of my records. Second one is Saturday Night Fever. The greatest movie soundtrack. The original movie soundtrack. John Travolta. And all the music by the Bee Gees, and that opens up. This also opens. A lot of good photos, as you can see. A lot of good photos. Songs on the back. Saturday Night Fever, Night Fever, More Than a Woman, Staying Alive, Jive Talking. Just a lot of good music on that. Good movie too. Really good movie. At the album. Van Morrison, Tupelo Honey. Van the Man. Really good album. Oh, little insert there. This opens up. Van Morrison. Look at him. Had long hair back then. Very long hair. Excellent album. Tupelo Honey. Really good. Van Morrison. Next one we have here is one maybe some people might not know, but Long Misty Days. Robin Trower. Long Misty Days. Big song by Robin Trower. And I'm sure a lot of people know Robin Trower out there. Great guitarist. Still plays today. Still does concerts. This was basically a three-man band, and he was the lead guitarist, but he didn't sing. He had another person in the group that would sing. Excellent music. Robin Trower. Listen to some of his stuff on YouTube and you'll love this. Excellent guitarist. I think everyone's going to know this one. I loved this when I was a kid. I couldn't get enough of these guys. The Monkees. More of the Monkees. The phenomenal Monkees. Songs like Mary Mary, Sometime in the Morning, I'm a Believer. It's just really good, big album by the Monkees. Probably from around 1968. And they were a great group, really good group. And they probably owned 68 and 69. They were big in those years. Here's one here that I couldn't wait to get my hands on. A lot of people know this group, Grand Funk Railroad, and this is their live album. I think this came out in 70 or 71. This is one of the loudest albums you'll ever listen to. So loud. It's live. It's Grand Funk. One of the loudest bands of all time. And this opens up too and just shows the band. And they were phenomenal. A phenomenal band back in the 70s. phenomenal. Mamas and the Papas. Really good album. The Mamas and the Papas, it says it all. And California Dreamin', Monday, Monday, I'll Call Your Name. They were fabulous back in the 70s and late 60s. Just a great band. Made excellent music. I think they played at, I don't know if they were at Woodstock, but they were really good band. Excellent music. I kept all my albums. I just kept all my albums. I mean, today they call it vinyl. I just called it albums. My albums, my records. Probably picked up a record for back in the 60s and 70s. You know, a 45 was like, I think it was about like 50 cents. And albums were like maybe $4, $5. Here's a really good album, maybe one of the best of its day. Creedence Clearwater Revival, and this is Pendulum. And this has some great songs on this. Chameleon, Melina, It's Just a Thought, Pagan Baby, Born to Move, Hey Tonight, Have You Ever Seen the Rain? Creedence Clearwater Revival. What a group. Excellent band. John Fogerty led this band, eventually went on his own, and just great music. Really good music. Here's a real, and all of these are special to me. Jay Giles live, Full House. Jay Giles band. What an album this is. First I look at the Purse, Pack Fair and Square, Whamma Jamma, Hard Driving Man, Looking for Love. What an album. Peter Wolf and Jay Giles were phenomenal. A lot of people would love to own this. This is an awesome album. Jay Giles Band live, Full House. What a band this is. This is amazing. I just love this one. Sly and the Family Stone. And this is their greatest hits. Sly Stone and the Family. And boy, they could pound it. They could pound it. This has this opens up, and it opens up, and it shows Sly Stone and a tremendous. Look at this. Look at that. That's the way he was. He was very flamboyant, and what a singer he was, and the family behind him. Just a great album. Greatest hits. Sly and the Family Stone. Love listening to that. Well, we all know who this is. I'm sure a lot of people will know who this is. Born to Run. Bruce Springsteen. This was a big album. This was really big. Thunder Road, 10th Avenue Freeze Out, Born to Run, She's the One, Jungle Land. This one, Set Him on Fire, Born to Run. He was young back then. This opens up too. There's Bruce. Really cool dude, great singer, great entertainer. Saw this girl twice in concert, Whitney Houston. One of the best singers I've ever heard. Period. This girl could sing like there's no tomorrow. I saw her twice in concert, and they were great concerts. Whitney Houston. This was the one that set her off. Whitney Houston. This is the album. All the great songs on this. Someone for Me. Nobody Loves Me Like You Do. Just take, You got good love. Saving all my love for you. Just this was probably her best album, and just she took off with this. Here we go. Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. Fleetwood Mac, they're still together today. They still, they've been doing a few concerts. Stevie Nicks went on her own, and a few of the members went on their own. But back in the day, this was a phenomenal album. Rumors sold millions. Great album, great band. Fleetwood Mac. Love their music. Well, here's one of my favorites. There's just no doubt about it. This guy can rock. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. Night Moves. This one took off like wildfire. I saw him in concert twice. Just at Cape Cod Coliseum, first time. In town Boston, Symphony Hall was the second time. Night Moves. Just big hits. He just poured out big hits. He could sing like there's no tomorrow. And and the one thing I say about him is that he sounds in concert live just like his records. Just exactly like his. He'll play his music. His songs will sound just like his records. He's that good. Silver Bullet Band. Another one of my favorites. ELO, Electric Light Orchestra. This band could rock. Jeff Lynne was phenomenal. Played with, George Harrison, and just a phenomenal band. ELO, greatest hits. They had songs like Evil Woman, Living Thing, Turn to Stone, and Showdown. Telephone Line, Strange Magic, Mr. Blue Sky. Phenomenal album. Just a great album. A great band. ELO. Phenomenal. This one is kind of cool. The Grassroots. I'm sure a lot of people back in the 60s will remember this band. The Grassroots. Wait a Million Years, Heaven Knows. Lovin' Things. Temptation Eyes was probably one of their biggest hits. Temptation Eyes. The Grassroots. They were so good. As a kid, these are the albums I grew up with. And these are the bands I grew up with. Really good band. I'm going to switch now, do a little switch, and go from bands to actually soundtracks. And I just want to show you some of the soundtracks that I have. The first one I want to put up is American Graffiti. What a movie. First of all, what a movie. The music, everybody can relate to. The music is just fantastic. Fun, uplifting, fast, funny, cool to listen to. American Graffiti was a great film. Ronnie Howard was in it. There was Richard Dreyfuss. I mean, it was just loaded with stars. George Lucas's second or third film. This movie, everybody can remember and relate to, and this is a phenomenal album to listen to. Some great, really good scenes from it, as you can see. Opening it up, a lot of good music from the supposed to be from the 50s, but I believe this was made, I want to say, in the 70s. I think it was made in the 70s. People can relate to Star Trek, I'm sure. The motion picture. This was the first film out of the box, from the TV series in the 60s. That whole group made their first film was the motion picture, and This was, Gene Roddenberry production, um, and it was a Robert Wise movie. Director Robert Wise. He did The Day the Earth Stood Still. He did, I believe he did. Trying to think of the other movie that he did. Sound of Music, I believe he did. Sound of Music. So he's made some really great movies, and he did the first Star Trek movie, the motion picture. It was a decent movie. Star Trek fans, they don't care about. They just love the Star Trek. All Star Trek. It's like Star Wars fans. They just love the movies, and it doesn't. Sometimes they'll make a bad movie, like one of the Star Trek movies. Some people may not like, but if you're a Star Trek fan, you just love Star Trek. So it really didn't matter that much. But it was a decent movie. It was pretty good. Next one is music from the original TV soundtrack, Star Trek: The Next Generation. What a show this was. 1987, this went on the air in 1987, and I couldn't wait for the premiere in 1987. The first episode was, I want to say it was like a double episode. But this cast, they got this cast together, and I just love the cast. I think a lot of people love the cast. Star Trek: The Next Generation. This is the original TV soundtrack. Really cool. A lot of good stuff. Show you on the back. A lot of good pictures. The ship is fantastic. Lots of good things about Star Trek. Lots of good things. Real good stuff. Encounter at Farpoint was the first one. Now this was one of my favorites. This trilogy, absolutely, I love this trilogy. I can't even believe this is in my collection. Back to the Future. This is Steven Spielberg presents in a Robert Zemeckis direction. Michael J. Fox. This was Back to the Future, and this is music from the motion picture soundtrack featuring The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News. And this was obviously the first movie, but no, they made three movies in this series, and I don't know if a lot of people know, but they actually made the third movie before they made the second movie. So they actually made the first movie, then they actually made the third movie, and then they made the second movie. So those three movies made up the trilogy, and just a fun movie. It just doesn't get any better. Michael J. Fox and the rest of the cast, Christopher Lloyd, it's fantastic. I know a lot of people can relate with Back to the Future. I just love it. Love the music and love the movies. And I guess last but not least, I can't even believe that this is in my collection. I just can't believe it. This is the music from Star Wars. This is from 1977. This is the soundtrack from Star Wars. The original soundtrack, composed and conducted by John Williams and performed by the London Symphony Orchestra. And I actually have two of these. This is the original recordings of Star Wars, the motion picture, from 1977. And this is one of my gems. And I just love listening to this music, and I still listen to it on my little record player. I have a small record player with actually speakers right on the record player, and this is an awesome soundtrack. Star Wars, one of my gems in my collection. So that is just part of my collection, and I may even have to call that part one. So I hope you enjoyed that. Again, if you could subscribe, would be cool. Also hit the notification bell, and you can be notified of my videos as I put them up. And just enjoy the videos and just have fun. So we'll see you next time, and maybe part 2 on more records. I have probably 200 or 300 albums that I saved when I was younger. So we'll see you next time. Have fun. Okay, Steve Gano here. This is going to be part 2 of my record album collection. And we're going to start right off with a biggie. 1972, Grand Funk Railroad, E Pluribus Funk. Grand Funk Railroad, 1972. Foot stomping music, People Let's Stop the War, Upsetter, Save the Land, No Lies. This was a big album. Obviously, it was like a big coin album. 1972, just a great album. Again, just a 3-man band. 3 men in this band. They were a super band. Excellent album. Second one, we're going to get right to it. Double Vision, Foreigner. Foreigner they were a great group. Double Vision on this album, Foreigner. This also had Hot Blooded, You're All I Am, and Double Vision. Some big songs, big hits for Foreigner on that, Double Vision. Excellent album, excellent band. One of my favorite all-time bands who I saw like back-to-back nights. We saw them on a Tuesday and Wednesday night at the Boston Garden back in the day. Jethro Tull, Bursting Out. Really good album. Ian Anderson led this band, Jethro Tull. This was a really good album. I think this is a live album. Just some great songs. This was Ian Anderson, Martin Barr, John Evan, Barrymore Barlow on drums, John Glasscock and David Palmer. What a fantastic album on the back. Jethro Tull. Big songs on this. Sweet Dream, Jack in the Green, Hunting Girl, Too Young to Die, Minstrel in the Gallery, Sweet Dream, Skating Away on Thin Ice. Excellent album, excellent band. I think this is a limited edition. This is Purple Rain from Prince and the Revolution. This is like a double single-like album. Let's Go Crazy is on this, and When Doves Cry, and Purple Rain. Really good, like a special edition album, Purple Rain. Prince won an Academy Award for the song Purple Rain. This was Prince and the Revolution back in the day. Excellent movie, great song, great artist. This was, I believe, this may have been Rod Stewart's first album, if I'm not mistaken. Every Picture Tells a Story. Rod Stewart, you can see he's really young there. This is the classic edition, Rod Stewart. Every Picture Tells a Story. I believe this was his, I think this was his first album. Maggie May, I'm Losing You. Reason to Believe, Mandolin Wind. Every Picture Tells a Story. Excellent album. Rod Stewart on the back. A lot of nice artwork for all the singles. Classic edition, Rod Stewart. And we're going to change up here a little bit. This guy sold 12 million records. As it says, Fats Domino. Swings. Look at this, 12 million records. Amazing stuff. Fats Domino. I think he just passed away not too long ago, maybe a year or so ago. And this gets all his big hits: The Fat Man, Blue Monday, Bo Weevil, Ain't It a Shame, I'm Walking, My Blue Heaven. Excellent album. Fats Domino, Swings. We're going to shift gears here a little bit, and we're going to get into some Elvis Presley albums that I picked up at flea markets. First one is Elvis as recorded at Madison Square Garden. There it is. I picked this puppy up at flea market. Any type of Elvis albums I'll pick up. Anything that I think is really a really good and good conditioned album, and excellent album put out, RCA Victor, Elvis at Madison Square Garden. That's one. This one was Elvis in Concert. There's another one. Elvis in Concert. Original soundtrack recording from the CBS TV special. Additional songs recorded on tour June of 1977, which I believe that's the day he passed away, or the year he passed away, I should say, in 77. And that's a really nice one, Elvis in Concert. You can see him on the back. His costumes were fantastic. Great entertainer. One of the greatest entertainers we've ever seen. Another one, this one is Elvis, That's the Way It Is. Elvis, I picked this up at a flea market too. You can see the stickers right on it. Victor, stereo. Excellent condition. Elvis, That's the Way It Is. And this is a special one that, this one's hard to get too. Elvis, this is his Christmas album. This is the Christmas album in stereo. RCA Victor. Elvis Christmas album. Sings all the Christmas songs, and including the big one, which would be White Christmas. His version of White Christmas. A little different than Bing Crosby's. See it on the back. Elvis Christmas album. Side 1, side 2. Excellent. Yeah. There you go. Christmas gift list. Elvis Presley. Okay, we're going to shift again. We are going to shift into the Beatles. Of course, everybody knows this one. Abbey Road. There they are. As you can see, crossing Abbey Road. You see Paul McCartney is the only one with no shoes or socks on. And they're walking across which we know now as Abbey Road in Great Britain. On the back, this is the original Abbey Road album. Great music. One of the greatest bands of all time. Abbey Road. Here we go. This is Beatles 65. Great hits by John, Paul, George, and Ringo. Beatles 65, put out by Capitol. Back. All new hits. This one here is Beatles 6. Beatles 6. World's most popular foursome. Excellent album, put out on Capitol. Beatles 6. Everybody knows all the Beatle hits. I think that once we hear a Beatles song, I mean, you know it. You just know it. Here's, I think this might have been their first album. Meet the Beatles on Capitol. As you can see, I don't know, these were Beatle haircuts back then, but they were short haircuts. But long back then, they were considered long hair. Today, be a nice little haircut. They were very conservative too in their dress. Very conservative band. Excellent music. Here's their second album, the Beatles, the second album. She Loves You and Roll Over Beethoven, all on Capitol. Fantastic album. All the Beatles albums, all the Beatles music. It's super. Wow. Beatles. Second album. This one's called. This one's just called "Introducing the Beatles." England's #1 vocal group. And short haircuts. Those haircuts weren't long. Back then they were. Not today. BJ put this out. BJ. Introducing the Beatles. A lot of good music here. There's another one called The Early Beatles. Now on Capitol. Early Beatles. Love Me Do, Twist and Shout, Taste of Honey, Please, 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 Please Me, Baby It's You. There's the back. Early Beatles. And this is one of John Lennon's albums. Actually, this is John Lennon's last album before he passed away, called Double Fantasy. This was a great album. Him and Yoko made this. This was his last album after he was assassinated. And on the streets of New York, 1980, John Lennon, Double Fantasy. Excellent music. Really good music. That's in front of the Dakota. That's the building that he was shot in front of that building, the Dakota. Excellent music. Great artist. We're going to shift again, and we're going to go into an artist that basically owned the 70s. In my opinion, this guy owned the 70s. No question about it. Elton John. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. This album is incredible. This was Elton at his best. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. This broke all the records. This is it opens up, I believe it's a double album. Opens up, beautiful artwork. Double album. Elton John, Bernie Taupin, Davy Johnson, Dee Murray, and Nigel Olsson. Some of the songs on this are just incredible. Funeral for a Friend, Gray Seal, Roy Rogers, Harmony, Ballad of Danny Bailey, Jamaica Jerk Off. I've seen that movie too. Funeral for a Candle in the Wind, Benny and the Jets. Incredible album. One of the most selling albums of all time. Yellow Brick Road. Here's one that was not one of his popular ones, but it had some good songs on this. It was Elton John, The Fox. This was The Fox, it was called. Some nice artwork here. And on the back. Some of these songs, they weren't very real popular, but, Fanfare, Carla, Etude, Just Like Belgium, Heart in the Right Place, Breaking Down Barriers. Really good album. Elton John, The Fox. Another Elton John called Victim of Love. Victim of Love. Elton John. He was one of the great artists of his time. No question about it. And the front, you see his eyes open with his shades. On the back, you see his shades and his eyes closed. Pretty cool artwork. Pretty neat artwork on that one. This was a popular one. Definitely popular one. Rock of the Westies. Rock of the Westies had some excellent music on this. Very flamboyant artist. I saw him in concert at Sullivan Stadium in, I believe it was 1977. Actually, it was 1976. It was our bicentennial. and he came on stage from a helicopter dressed as the Statue of Liberty. It was an amazing concert. $10 for every seat was $10. One price, $10, and that was it. Just an incredible artist, great band, a lot of good music. Rock of the Westies. Another great one. This one's called Empty Sky. This was awesome too. It's lucky to get these albums. I bought just about most of these albums. I was a big Elton John fan back in the 70s. Elton John. Really good album. This is called Empty Sky. This had Valhalla, Lady, What's Tomorrow, Sails, Skyline Pigeon. Really good music, Elton. This was another big one. He just put out big ones. Probably like every 3 months there was a big one coming out. Caribou. Elton John's Caribou. What an album. All these albums back in the 70s. That's why I say he was coming out with an album like it seemed like every 3-4 months for the entire, in the 70s. It was just like album after album. Him and Bernie Taupin. And there it is on this album here. You had The Bitch Is Back, Pinky. You had I've Seen the Sauces. Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. You're So Static. Excellent album, Caribou. And the last one in his series, and in this part 2, is another great album. Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. Elton John. Look at this artwork. Just amazing artwork. Just amazing. Incredible. His albums had great artwork on them. Look at the back of this. Look at the artwork in that. Captain Fantastic. What a great song. This opened up also, as you can see here. Look at this. Great stuff. On this was just Tower of Babel, Better Off Dead, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. Just great music. Someone Saved My Life Tonight. Fantastic album. Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. Elton John. Okay, that's going to do it for part 2 on my albums. I probably will have a part 3. So we're looking forward to that, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget, if you could, subscribe to my channel, and also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new videos come up. And give me a thumbs up. Everything is fantastic here, like the album says. Captain Fantastic. Let's go. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.